to my next Star Wars character. And that's kind of shocker for me, ain't it? I think it is. Okay. Hey guys, welcome back to LEGO Marvel Superheroes Do Custom Builds, and today we will be doing none other than the Sith Lord known as Savage Opress. Now before I start off, I want to say, whoa, you said last video you were going to do Palpatine. Then I remembered this guy before, like right after I did a Savage Ventress. It's like, am I forgetting someone? Oh yeah, Savage Opress. Well, I'll just shove him in before I do Palpatine, because Palpatine is the big bad. And no, I'm not counting Snoke as the big bad. I felt like Palpatine was more of the big bad because we felt we had more time to know him through the 6 movies he was in. Whereas Snoke is just trying to be the Emperor, sort of, and sucking at it miserably. Because if you're trying to copy, even if he is trying to copy the Emperor, you can't outdo Ian McDiarmid's performance, you know that. Anyway, that being said, we are going to move on to Savage Opress, who I personally think is a better version than Asajj Ventress. I mean, Asajj Ventress is nice and all, but she was so vague and stilted that I couldn't get an attachment for her. And I know Savage is too, but I felt like he was a more of a, like, he was on Maul's side and he was loyal to him, so like that. When it comes to Savage, because their names are similar. When it comes to Savage, I will be doing 3 forms of him. One is where he's in robes. 2 is where he's first going out with Maul, you know, as his apprentice. And then where he has a cyborg arm, so there won't be much change between those 2 appearances. So we're going to start off with his robe look. First, we're going to get rid of that hair. Go to neck gear, get rid of that. Go to head. Now, he was a bit younger when it came to this, but he was a bit stern, as the character is meant to be. That's the right type of yellow for his species. However, I just remember I do need like black detailing on him. Now that face suited Maul, because Maul was more of the more evil of the 2. Now while that face does suit him, it's not as dark, so I might need to make it like his brother. Anyway, let's go to his... Let's get the horns on him. And before anyone asks, I do know that there is going to be a new LEGO game called LEGO DC Villains, which is coming out in October, so I will be getting that one, because I am interested to see, because I know what it's about. It's like you get to make your own custom character from the get-go and go on this adventure with the villains. So that seems interesting, so I will be collecting that one. But when it comes to, will it change my perception on, like, will I be doing customs on that new game or sticking to this one? Well, for an answer now, I can easily say yes, because I haven't played that game thoroughly and I don't think all the pieces will be as diverse as Marvel's, but we'll see. Both hands, yellow. Go to weapons real quick and give him the staff. I forgot I was doing his robes though. So knowing that, I'm gonna get... I don't think he had a staff, he more like... had nothing, so we're starting from with his robes. Going to his appearance again, going to hand... here like light blue robes. was more of a... Now I want to add details, so with that knowledge I will go with... Might be this torso I might go with. But considering we don't have the sort of torso I want... I would go with that, but it's not right on the money. Yeah, I buy that blue for his training. Go to arms. We're looking for a light blue and yellow. Probably not. Actually, now I think about it, his robes went down to his arms, so it would make sense to give him a... Yeah. Going to his hips. That continued on the blue scheme. And finally his legs. Yeah, I buy that for his simple robes. What he had started out as. Abilities, well, he was training, so he's not as good. Wall climbing, I'll put. Techno access, well, he didn't understand technology back then. He was still learning his horsepower, so he wasn't really ready. Cracked walls. I'll put off. Deflect off. Fix things in Vanka on. Dig. Port. Why is that always on? Tracking. Oh, I can put tracking for him, I think. Square for fighting, of course. Targeted lunge. I will put some force abilities. Weird how it does that to me. I'll make it like a weaker force attack. It always does weird things to me sometimes. I'm not even sure what that goofy emotion is. Might as well go with that. Hyper jump off because he's not fully developed his force powers yet. Going to that, health icon, I'll go to yellow, standard, voice, free, movement speed 2. His planet was very sickly coloured. Right. Savage. Oh. Press. There we go. It actually fit. I'm surprised. So here's our first little rendition of Savage Opress. Before in his training, you know, before he becomes an actual apprentice. He's got the force abilities. As you do, you know, pretty generic character. Let's get rid of Captain Avalon and switch out for Savage Opress as a Sith Lord. He has both arms. And just so you know, this Captain Avalon character is basically the equivalent to Captain America, if you're curious. Going to appearance. Now to look up the images that I've got of this guy when he's got his typical critique on. It's very armory-esque. Yeah, I can see that working for him. Go to arms. Oh. Going on to, we're going to see if there's any detailed arms to go on. We could make them better probably if we wanted to. I'll go with that to mix up the colour scheme a bit. Going on now to his lower section. Makes sense. Perfect. Going now to his abilities. Well, but before we do that, of course, we give him his weapon, his staff. Going to his now abilities. Deflect cracked walls. Got a 2 health icon, red. Voice to the free target module, will change it to a cipher color. That's fine. Moving. Name's still the same. He's now left his home planet, so we'll change the map to his wandering from planet to planet. And yeah, boom. There is our, you know, Savage Opress before he becomes a cyborg. I mean, we have a lot of cyborgs in Star Wars because a lot of people do lose limbs in Star Wars fights or in lightsaber battles. He is pretty fast, as I would expect.
Bad guys, villains, crooks, enemies, whatever you want to call them, go take them down.
So like Savage, he's got the staff. Yep. So let's move along now, one more look at him, and we'll move on to his final appearance, which is just an arm change, really. And that is Savage Cyborg. And all you're missing from that is basically a cyborg arm. Now it is. Yeah, that's the arm that's been damaged. should give him that. It's just funny that it's ironic that it's like the Winter Soldier's on. But it is more of a rusty metal than it is. And it is more mechanical than it is going to his hands. There we go. And there is our final rendition of Savage Opress, because if you know in the Clone Wars show, he dies by Darth Sidious. And he was, yeah, that's the fate of Savage. I don't know if Asajj Ventress dies, but I don't remember. I don't think she does. Anyway. So this is our final rendition of Savage Opress, Cyborg and non-Cyborg, and you just saw his robe version. And finally, now that we've done the last of these lackeys to the Sith Lord, to the Big Supreme, we finally get to do Darth Sidious next time. Awesome. So, join us next time as we rally up the Sith Lords with our final one, Darth Sidious. And I suppose we'll do Kylo Ren and probably Snoke like some point after, maybe, I don't know. Anyway, see you guys in the next one where we do Darth Sidious. And may the Force be with you. Like, subscribe, all the good stuff. And remember, there's an annotation down below for the upcoming Q&A. And any more requests for LEGO Marvel Studios to do custom builds, please put in the comments down below. I really appreciate it. So next time, of course, a yes. And of course, finally, may the Force be with you.